Dylan confesses to running down Luna. Recap. On today's The Bold and the Beautiful recap, Katie and Will want to move forward. Brooke, Donna and Ridge embrace Katie and say how worried about her they've been. Ridge explains that's why they hired the new PR firm, to give her a break. Katie is clearly thrown and says her personal tragedy will not interfere with her work. Just then Will arrives and is also embraced. They thought he was taking off, but Will says work is the best distraction. He says he has a great support team and doesn't need a break. Will simply wants to focus on her future. Previous The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, recap, Dollar Bill is back in business. Dylan ran down Luna on Old Decatur Road on The Bold and the Beautiful. Dylan arrives to see Electra. They talk about their horrific experiences with Luna. Dylan can't believe she let someone like Luna into her classroom. Electra wants Dylan to give herself some grace as Luna conned her. Dylan notes Luna called herself Sunshine and should have knows that wasn't her real name. She thinks back to being gagged and shoved in a closet when she heard gunshots. Electra is proud of her friend for talking to her, and Dylan said she could really use a friend. Later, Dylan tells Electra she was the one who struck and killed Luna. What did you think of today's episode? Sound off in the comments and watch the video clip below. Keep checking back for the latest The Bold and the Beautiful recaps. This story was originally published by Daytime Confidential on November 25, 2025, where it first appeared in the Bold and the Beautiful section. Add Daytime Confidential as a preferred source by clicking here. The night the truth came out did not begin with screams, or sirens, or even with an apology. It began with rain, a soft, whisper-thin drizzle tapping against the windows of the Seabrook Community Center like a nervous heartbeat. Inside, the annual fall outreach meeting was supposed to be a routine gathering. Flyers, committee sign-ups, watercolor posters done by local kids. Nothing remarkable. And yet beneath the polite chatter, tension hummed like a wire pulled too tight. Because Luna wasn't there. Normally, she would be the first person setting up chairs, her dark hair pulled into a messy bun, wearing her faded denim jacket with the stitched constellation patches. She'd be teasing people into volunteering for things they didn't want to do, laughing at her own jokes, rearranging the donation table for the 100th time. But now she lay in a hospital bed 2 towns over, unconscious, the victim of a hit-and-run no one could make sense of. Dylan paced. His hands were shoved into the pockets of his jacket, shoulders stiff, eyes scanning every exit like he might run out of one. Anyone who looked at him saw the same thing: worry, guilt, fear, though the order changed depending on who was doing the watching. Mara saw guilt first. She always did. She stepped up beside him, her arms folded. "You okay?" she asked, though her voice made it clear she didn't expect the truth. "Fine," he said. A lie, crisp and too quick. People said the accident came out of nowhere. Luna crossing Harbor Street late at night, visibility bad, no witnesses. A car speeding through the crosswalk. Screech. Silence. By the time Officer Halen arrived, the driver was gone and Luna was barely breathing. But rumors moved fast in a small town, faster than storms across open water. And the rumor circling the rec center tonight was the same one Mara had begun to fear. Someone had seen Dylan's truck on Harbor Street that night, the dent on the bumper, the off-kilter headlight. She hadn't wanted to believe it. Not Dylan. Not the boy she grew up with, the one who collected abandoned animals like trading cards and once biked 6 miles to return a wallet filled with $2 and a grocery list. But tonight? He looked like someone unraveling thread by thread. The meeting opened. Mrs. Halworth cleared her throat into the microphone, sounding like she was swallowing gravel. "Before we begin our agenda, I'd like to acknowledge our dear Luna Reyes. We're all keeping her in our thoughts." People murmured. Some bowed their heads. Some wiped their eyes. Dylan shut his. Mrs. Halworth continued. "She's one of our brightest souls. Was on her way home from tutoring the younger volunteers when someone hit her with their car," said a voice flatly. The room turned. It was Holden Reyes, Luna's older brother, the one who'd flown back from Arizona as soon as he got the call. His face was hard as brick, grief held in place by pure fury. Mrs. Halworth stammered. "Yes, well, the police are doing everything they can." "Everything." Holden cut in. Because I've seen everything Officer Halen has so far. A broken crosswalk sign. Skid marks. A dropped earring. Nothing else. He turned his glare across the crowd. Whoever did this is here. Or they know something. People don't just disappear. The words landed heavy. Mara felt Dylan tense beside her. Felt the barely perceptible flinch. Felt the way he took a half step back, like shadows suddenly had weight. She grabbed his sleeve. "Dylan," she whispered. But he pulled away. Holden continued, "The doctors said if she doesn't wake up soon." His voice cracked. He didn't finish. The rain outside thickened. The fluorescent lights buzzed faintly. Dylan moved toward the double doors, slow, mechanical, like he had no other choice. The room fell deathly quiet. Dylan swallowed. "About my truck?" Mara's breath hitched. "So you know," Halen said, raising a brow. "Your neighbor reported it missing the night of the accident. And this morning someone found it parked behind the Phillips warehouse with front-end damage. Care to explain?" Dozens of eyes turned toward Dylan. He felt cornered, pinned. A specimen under glass. Mara whispered, "Just tell him what happened." And then, as if the universe timed its cruelty on purpose, Holden appeared behind Halen. When he saw Dylan, something flashed across his face: recognition. Hatred. Hope for vengeance. "I was driving back from the docks. I'd been working the late shift. The rain started suddenly and the roads were slick. I saw someone in the street. I tried to stop." Holden roared, "Liar." Dylan flinched. "I swear I tried. She came out of nowhere. I hit the brakes. The truck skidded. When I got out and saw her on the ground," he squeezed his eyes shut, face twisted with shame. "I panicked. I didn't know what to do. My headlight was gone. I thought, if anyone found out, my job, my record, everything would be." Holden lunged again. Halen shoved him back. "So you ran?" Holden shouted. "You left her there to die?" "I called 911, Dylan said quickly. "From a blocked number. I stayed long enough to make sure they were coming, but I didn't stay. I should have. I know I should have." Tears blurred Mara's vision. Not because he confessed, she'd suspected, but because he looked like someone whose entire world had collapsed days ago and he'd only now stopped pretending it hadn't. Halen exhaled slowly. "We'll go to the station. You're not under arrest yet, but you're coming with me. And we'll verify your statement." Holden spat on the floor near Dylan's feet. "Hope you rot." Mara stepped between them. "Holden, stop. Please. He's telling the truth." "Truth?" Holden snapped. "The truth is my sister might never wake up." Mara felt her throat tighten. She turned to Dylan. "Why didn't you tell me?"